really, really hot. So my face might melt off during this video, but this is fine. This is fine. Hello everyone, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. It has been a while. So as you can tell by the title of the video, it's a very exciting announcement today. This is why I have got myself all glammed up and I'm sat in front of the camera, because I want to announce officially that I recorded my first ever podcast. Obviously, when I say my first podcast, I don't mean that I have set up a podcast. I mean that a friend of mine asked me if I would like to be in a podcast, and I said, heck yes. To explain a little bit more, my friends Rebekah and Roberto, who used to live in the same building, they still have the flat, so they come back and visit every now and then. They moved over to San Francisco last year, I think it was, and this time they came back. Rebekah asked me if I would be interested in getting involved in a podcast that she has been working on. I was really excited to dabble in something that I'd never really done before, but when it actually came down to sitting down and recording the podcast, oh my god, I was nervous. I was so nervous. It took me so long to actually sit down. I was making excuses to try and not sit down. I was like, oh, I just need to put some lipstick on. Oh, I just need to go and feed the animals. I need to do this, I need to do that. It took me so long to actually sit down. But when I did, Rebekah made me feel so comfortable, and it was such an incredible experience. So thank you very much, Rebekah. I really appreciated it, and it was great fun. It really was good fun. It couldn't have gone better in my opinion. Apart from the fact that, obviously, with it being my first ever podcast experience, I couldn't get it into my head that I had to be like this far away from the microphone at all times. And I kept sort of leaning back and casually like, yeah, da 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 da. And then she kept saying, you need to come closer, Kat. You need to come closer. And I was like, oh. So during the podcast chat, we talked about creativity, we talked about YouTube itself, other creators, things that inspire me, how I managed to actually do the YouTube videos, edit them, get them up, whilst obviously having a normal job from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and the whole anxiety and procrastination behind it. Now, obviously, as you already know, it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. It's been a good month since I uploaded, and it's for no reason in particular. Like, I'm fine, I really am genuinely fine, but I was struggling a little bit with the whole anxiety situation with YouTube, because obviously it just blew up out of nowhere, and I suddenly found myself with a proper camera, which I'm filming on right now. I set my whole studio up, which I'm filming in now, and I suddenly hit 1,000 subscribers, and it was like, wow, this is real. This is actually becoming a thing now. And it's not like I feel like one day it could be a job, because it could be, maybe, I don't know. But it was more the fact that my little hobby became kind of a bit more serious. Like, I'm making money on YouTube now. Not very much, but I'm making money on YouTube now. And it's very exciting, but it's very gut-wrenching at the same time. So I want to tell you a little bit about the Bravemaker podcast. Bravemaker was originally meant to be a film fest, and this was all founded by a filmmaker called Tony Gabastione, and his aim in the very beginning was to just create and start a film fest. And from there, it just became this huge thing that I don't think he or anybody expected it to become. Bravemaker is now about elevating brave stories and helping to shine a light on smaller communities of people that are not usually elevated in the film industry, such as people of colour, women, the LGBTQ community, people experiencing homelessness, and so on. The list goes on. These are people that are not represented enough in the film industry. And the podcast, which is also called the Bravemaker Podcast, is about speaking to creative people in those communities and giving them a voice, giving them somewhere where they can talk about their creativity, where they can talk about their struggles. And it's truly, truly inspiring to listen to some of these people's stories. Going back to the actual film fest itself, in this year, 2019, they actually were able to do their first ever film fest in Redwood City, California. And it was a humongous success, so much so that they have recently actually arranged the dates for the film fest in 2020. So if you're in the California area, make sure that you clear your diaries so that you can go to that. It's going to be around about mid-May. But the podcast is also available on all of the major platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google Play, Anchor, loads more. And I believe if you go onto their website, if your favourite platform isn't on there, then you can actually suggest it to them and they'll look into making it available on there as well. You can listen to the episodes for absolutely nothing. It's completely free on all of these platforms. However, it is a non-profit organisation, so obviously they rely on donations from people who want to keep the creativity alive. So if that is something that you feel like you are capable of doing and that you want to do, then please head over to their website and make a small donation. The website where you can make donations and the podcast and everything like that is all going to be linked in the description box below. At this point, it's probably good for me to say that obviously I didn't make any money from making this podcast. It's a purely non-profit organisation, which is why I just wanted to mention that the links are not affiliated, of course. I don't get anything by you clicking on those links or anything like that. Obviously the only money that I make is from any ad revenue that I get from YouTube from making this video. But you know, a girl's got to eat. And not to sound ungrateful, but it's not like the YouTube revenue is going to pay for our wedding anytime soon, so... Thank you so much, Rebekah. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jess, who edited the podcast as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to get involved with something very different for me. I really appreciate it. And I think that's pretty much it for me today because I am boiling in this room. As always, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so that you're notified on your phone or whatever device you're using every time that I upload. And of course, as always, if you want to follow me on other social medias, then my handles will be at the end of the video.